Hey Libra, we're going to be doing your reading, so we're going to get right into it and see what is going on for you guys, Libra. All right, Libra, let's see. Libra. Whoa. Okay, excellent. So, Libra, the Page of Cups reversed and the Tower card reversed just like came out of the deck here. All right, let's see what's going on. I feel like you're like, I can't believe that. I don't know. So let's see what's going on. Or you were expecting something different. I don't know. Let's see what's up here. Libra. You have the Wheel of Fortune, Moon card reversed. Okay. You have the Wheel of Fortune in your environment. That is also, well, actually, Virgo had the Wheel of Fortune reversed showing up in their environment. So, all right, you guys are showing up with the Emperor here for your current energy. So kind of like boss mode mentality. That's kind of what I'm feeling, all right? Maybe you are in charge of something, or there's something that you are maybe just, this might even just be about like friggin' self-discipline, dude. This could be like, you know what, I'm like really, I'm going to be self-disciplined about whatever this is. But I also feel like you are in some leadership role here, you know, that kind of stuff, all right? Maybe even like, I think I'm going to leave it there. I think there's just something that you're in like a leadership role, or you're being seen as like the person who has like it all together, or you're the one in charge, that kind of thing. So, all right, Libra. So let's see. I feel like you might actually really like this. Actually, I feel like it might be something that's like maybe coming more natural to you than you maybe had anticipated, or it's just something that just comes like really natural to you, this kind of energy. So, all right, you have the Wheel of Fortune. This is showing up in your environment. So I wonder if there's maybe something that is like maybe a major change is happening around you, that kind of stuff, and maybe you're in charge of it, that kind of thing. All right, that could be something that's going on here. All right. I'm also getting this energy here, Libra, of somebody trying to make their way towards you, okay? That's what I'm feeling, is somebody is trying to make their way towards you, that kind of stuff. This might be something that is like super friggin' unexpected in some sense, all right? Certainly could be. And you might just be like very like disciplined with yourself, or like non-reactive, I want to say, that kind of stuff. So, all right, let's see. I'm almost getting someone being like, yeah, well, you're going to have to get past me, or I don't know. So, all right, you have the Ace of Cups, and this is showing up for your challenge here. So, all right, maybe, Libra. Okay, Ace of Cups for your challenge. I wonder if maybe you're like an emotional type of person, and maybe you are just in the energy of needing to be like maybe less emotional, and again, more like business related, or I don't know, something like that. All right, that kind of thing. All right, could be. Ace of Cups is a challenge. All right, we're gonna have to get into that and see what's up with that. So, all right, let's move over to your opportunity. You have the High Priestess. So it's kind of interesting. High Priestess is for your opportunity, and then you have the Emperor. I kind of like that. That feels, this feels extremely powerful. All right, it definitely does. Libra, I wonder if there's people around you who are maybe a little bit intimidated, but I am understanding somebody who is like trying to like get towards you, or maybe trying to like connect with you, or I don't know, something like that. All right, that's kind of what I'm feeling here. All right, so let's see. High Priestess for your opportunity. Maybe this is about relying on your intuition, but maybe that's something that you're feeling like is presenting as a challenge in some sense, all right? Certainly could be. Or I wonder if maybe you have the opportunity to maybe connect with a person that maybe you've been kind of separated from, or you've been giving maybe the cold shoulder, or somebody's been giving you the cold shoulder in some sense, all right? That kind of stuff. So, all right, let's see. High Priestess for your opportunity, and Ace of Cups for your challenge. I got to tell you, like maybe this has something to do with love, but I'm really more so getting this as like being like very much like intuitively based, that kind of stuff, and maybe needing to be super aware of like the energy in the room, and again, like this thing of like not being like super reactive on something, all right, that kind of thing. So, all right, let's see what else is going on here. We're going to get your oracle cards out, and then we will clarify your reading here. So, all right, let's see. Libra. Maybe there was a missed opportunity. Okay. Or again, like, I don't know, just like a new feeling of some sort. But I'm really, really getting this as like an intuitive thing, though. I really, you know, there's something about that. And I think, I don't know, that's just what I'm feeling is feelings-based, intuitive, something like that, all right? That kind of stuff. Maybe there's sadness involved in something here, okay, with that Ace of Cups showing up in a challenge position. So, all right. Okay, so you have number 3, Gemini, cross-pollinate. This is showing up for your current energy here. So, yeah, maybe there's something... Cross-pollinate. Okay, maybe you are in charge of collaborating in some sense, or you're in charge of... I'm getting this cross-pollinate as like a very genetic-based type of thing here, okay, that kind of stuff. I really am. I also want to say PP, all right? I want to say that. I'm only saying, I know that sounds friggin' weird. I'm only saying that because bees have pollen pants and they're awesome. I know I've mentioned it before on like the old channel, but I don't know, something like that. So, okay, you have this King of Pentacles, and this is showing up in your past energy here. I mean, this to me feels like you have put in work into something, or you've put in a certain amount of time, finances, that kind of stuff. Maybe proving yourself, being like, yes, I'm extremely reliable. Like, I want to be like, I want to say like, I always show up on time, or I'm always here, or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, also like being like faithful to something. Okay. That's kind of what I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is like I don't know. It feels like you put in, again, enough time, energy, finances, whatever the heck it is, or there was enough consistency with something that now you are maybe even being promoted to like an emperor type of role. Okay. Like a real boss energy, that kind of stuff. Maybe overseeing something as opposed to being like on the floor, or, you know, something regarding that. Okay. But again, maybe this is even you guys like merging something here, maybe merging something, or again, I want to say taking like a little bit from here, taking a little bit from here, that kind of stuff. And maybe that there's something that you're like kind of collaborating or putting something all together in that sense, that kind of stuff. Okay. I don't know, for one reason or another. So, all right, let's see. You have the 2 of Cups, and you have it with the Wheel of Fortune in your environment. So, all right, in the past, I feel like I kind of do get that sense of like an upgrade, or I don't know, something like that. All right. I understand that. And I feel like there was maybe a particular partnership in some capacity here, or there was something that was like settled on, like you know, that kind of thing. What I will also say here is with this cross-pollinate and this 2 of Cups here, I do feel like this is kind of like taking an idea from here, taking an idea from here, or like listening to this thing, working with this thing, whatever the heck it is, and then kind of bringing that all together, you know, that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I'm feeling. All right. I do understand that. There might be a sense of secrecy, or a sense of like, hey, don't tell everybody what's going on with whatever this is, that kind of stuff. I think that's the second time that message has come out in like this round of readings. So again, I don't remember what other sign it came out in. So with this Wheel of Fortune showing up here, I feel like maybe this is this could be a partnership that maybe came out of friggin' nowhere, okay? Or a partnership that is maybe going through like a massive upgrade, a massive change of some sort, that kind of stuff, okay? Certainly could be. I also understand something about like a difference, like that a difference makes all the difference. I don't know, something regarding that. That's kind of what I'm understanding here. I wonder if this is also maybe going from like a place of like real stability, that kind of stuff, to something that is more like, again, like unexpected, or something that you can't exactly like maybe predict all the way. Maybe this is meeting somebody at like an inopportune time or an opportune time, that kind of stuff. There's something, okay? All right, it's like something was formed and then something changed. I don't know. That's what I'm feeling is going on, okay? So, all right. Okay, so for your challenge, you guys have the Founder. It says foundations and community. And kind of interesting, there's like 2 like little rat mice. I don't know if they're rats or mice, I don't know. But they're on this card, so there's 2 of them. And then you have this Gemini card, like Gemini is like the twins, so there might be something regarding that, okay? Twins are 2 different things, or I don't know, something like that, that kind of stuff. So, all right. Okay, so foundations and community. All right, and then you have it with the reverse Page of Wands and the Ace of Cups. Okay, I think that there was... What do I think here? Page of Wands reverse showing up in the past energy. I wonder if this is maybe not not going on a new path when maybe you felt like it was time to do so, okay, that kind of stuff. This Wheel of Fortune could maybe even be talking about like that kind of new path, or like, the wheel of fate kind of turning, that kind of stuff. All right, that could certainly be part of whatever this is, like going from like, it's like I did things this way for this time period and now I'm doing things this way, or that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I'm feeling. This Page of Wands reversed. It's like there was either something that I feel like you were maybe not able to find in some sense, or I'm almost getting like dropping hints and then somebody didn't pick up on them, or I don't know, something like that. Okay, I think that might be where that like intuition is coming into play, that kind of stuff. All right, that could be part of whatever is going on here. I also feel like possibly there might be something in the terms of sorry, I'm looking at your current energy over here, and I'm like, you know what, I'm also understanding something about maybe somebody was like, I'm doing this thing all the time. I'm just going to make this my job, or I'm going to make this like, I'm going to be the boss of whatever this is. I'm taking control of this thing because I'm the one who always does it. Maybe it wasn't even decided on in some sense. All right. That kind of stuff, or like officialized, or I don't know, something like that. So, all right, sorry. Back to your challenge here. Okay. So yes, I feel like maybe it was like not doing something kind of different when maybe you wanted to, or feeling like you had to stay in the same spot when maybe you were like, I kind of am interested in this thing, or whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff. I even wonder if there was maybe like an impulsive decision, something regarding that. Okay. And I feel like right now it's like hitting you in your like, in either emotionally, or it's hitting you in the sense of like questioning your intuition, or having to rely on it, like trying to piece something together intuitively. Like, I know I keep saying intuitive, but I can't stress it enough. That's really what I'm feeling here, is like that main energy of like intuition. Okay, maybe being like a little bit nervous in some sense to open up, or something about that. Okay, that kind of stuff. For some of you, maybe you're like kind of like I don't know, I just feel like it's either something here was built on something that was not stable, or there was an energy of something kind of like being intrigued by something when maybe the foundation of something wasn't completely settled, that kind of stuff. Maybe that is part of whatever is showing up as a challenge here. Okay, and again, maybe there is an energy of like having like kind of like ants in your pants, that kind of stuff. All right, wanting to move around, or wanting to like go on like a new adventure of some sort, but like hesitating in that, or feeling like I can't do that because for one reason or another, whatever it is. Okay, that kind of stuff. I want to say like finding something that's lost, or losing something that's found. I don't know, like this founder card, I know it's like foundations, foundations community. I'm getting this like finders keepers, like I found it, or I don't know, something like that. All right, that kind of stuff. Also this Emperor card, King of Pentacles. This is maybe somebody with a whole lot of finances that can like be, who is like starting a foundation, like a friggin' corporation, a foundation, like something like that. Okay, that kind of stuff. I want to say fountain pens too. So, all right, let's see. So you have the Star card and the Sun card. There's been some really like intense energies coming out this past week. It's like very like flashy, I want to say, or I don't know. So I don't know what word to use, but okay. So Star card and the Sun card. This is showing up for part of this challenge. So there's something about, I want to say, refreshing yourself, or refreshing something, maybe something on the internet, online, or I don't know, something about that, refreshing that in some sense. And I also feel like this is, hey, make sure that you're pouring into like your community and like your immediate, like your community and like your immediate self, or like whatever it is that you're like, what's happening like close to you, that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I'm feeling. All right, that kind of stuff, especially with this Gemini energy. All right, that, I don't know, there's something about that, making sure that you're not like overextending yourself, or making sure that you're not pouring all of your energy into like one thing, or spending all your time doing one thing and then like kind of dropping the ball on another end, or you know what I'm saying, that kind of stuff. I almost want to say like people pleasing, but like in a really kind of interesting way. I don't know how else to really describe that. So all right, let's see. So this whole like healing energy, okay, this Star card, healing energy, that kind of stuff. All right, maybe for some of you guys this might have to do with astrology with this Star card. Okay, that could have something to do with it. But I feel like kind of either again refreshing something, or doing something where you're making sure that you're kind of like taking care of, again, like the maybe your community, that kind of stuff. And then again, like your immediate circle, I feel like that is going to make something happier, or kind of, I want to say like lighten the mood, that kind of stuff. Maybe even offer I want to say heat in some sense, which is friggin' interesting, but I do want to say that, like a sense of heat or a sense of warmth, something regarding that, okay, that kind of stuff. This Page of Wands reversed is weirdly giving, this is, sorry, Libra, this is going to get so weird and probably not make any sense, but I'm getting this like a low-grade fever, a low-grade temperature, like, I don't know, something like that, all right? I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but I don't know. That's something about that. So, all right, you have the reverse Three of Cups, and this is showing up as what to avoid. So I think that there is, I think this is like trying to push you into something kind of social, or pushing you into that like collaboration energy, like cross-pollination, sharing ideas, that kind of stuff, okay? That's kind of what I'm feeling. Again, a little bit get an indication of maybe not sharing all of that right away with somebody, or I don't know, something, that kind of stuff, okay? Only because you have that High Priestess there for part of your opportunity. So, all right. Let's see. I do think maybe technology, I do think technology might actually have something to do with whatever's going on here, okay? Reverse Three of Cups, sometimes, I know that's really weird, but the reverse Three of Cups and the High Priestess, sometimes it gives me a little bit of that vibe, okay? So, all right, let's see. This could also be like avoiding thinking that something is like a third party situation, all right? Whatever that kind of like means to you, that kind of stuff. So, all right, you know, I got to tell you another thing here. Now that I just said that with this Gemini cross-pollinate, maybe this is something about cross-watching for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Cross-watching, like kind of like getting some information on I don't know, somebody else, you know, that kind of thing. So, all right, let's see. So for your opportunity, you have this card, the Chiromancer, delivering news and collaboration. So, you know, you have a lot about like community, social aspects, like cross-pollination, collaboration, you know, that kind of stuff, Libra. So, you know, it is kind of a time to like work together. Again, like sharing ideas, something about that, all right, that kind of stuff. Maybe there's some family references here, okay, there could be. So, all right, let's see. I mean, you don't really have any cards that would indicate that, but I don't know. I feel like that might be for somebody. So, okay. So, yes, you have delivery, news, collaboration with this Chiromancer card. This is showing up for your opportunity, so it's friggin' awesome, okay? So, it feels like that's your opportunity. So, you have the Queen of Swords with the High Priestess. This is a little bit of an intimidating energy, all right? It definitely is. Like, this can be somebody who is either, like, painfully obvious, like that kind of stuff, or this is somebody who is extremely clairvoyant, or they clairaudient. Why am I not saying that right? Whatever. Like can hear things, like, you know, can hear things really well, or like, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Obviously, my words are just not happening right now. That's all right. It's okay. I feel like you guys understand me, so that's fine. Okay, so yes, I feel like past energy here, there's something about maybe learning the truth about something, or figuring out the details of something here, that kind of stuff, okay? Maybe maybe contact was made in some capacity, that kind of stuff, all right? It feels like whatever this information is, or whatever it is, it feels like it's definitely something that is like, I want to say true. I don't see any like jokes, or I don't know, like, I don't know why I said that, but I mean, like, I just mean to say, like, this, it feels like an honest type of thing, okay? That's kind of what I'm feeling. All right, so this could be like being open with expressing your ideas, being open with like delivering news, that kind of stuff, okay? But it might be like being selective with who it is that you are sharing that with, okay? Being very discerning in some sense, that kind of stuff, okay? Really like picking and choosing who it is that you want to like let it be involved in, like, I want to say like your inner circle, you know, or whoever is going to be made aware. I want to say made privy. That's a fancy word. Like being made aware of whatever is going on here. So, okay, Queen of Swords, you have it with the High Priestess. For some of you guys, I do think that there was maybe like a cold shoulder type of situation that happened in the past, but it feels like that's maybe like, we're not super concerned about that right now, or it's being worked through, that kind of stuff. So yes, this is either you guys receiving news in an intuitive way, or you're receiving some type of collaboration that maybe you intuitively felt in some sense, okay? There might have, or was intuitively based, whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff, okay? I do think that there's maybe a little bit of unsureness, or again, maybe something to do with like technology, or communication, you know what I'm saying? Like something about that might be part of whatever it is, but I feel like that's showing up as your opportunity now, is to kind of like maybe work with multiple different people or ideas, whatever it is, and kind of like bring them all together, you know, that kind of stuff. But again, I really am getting this understanding of like maybe just not telling everybody what it is right off the bat, you know, that kind of stuff. I'm also getting dry humor, which is interesting because I just said like I'm not seeing any jokes, that kind of stuff. But I don't know, I'm picking up something about that. So maybe it's like the way that you are delivering something, that's your opportunity. Do you know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. So, all right, maybe this is like tiptoeing around something, like again, like dropping hints, leaving hints, something like that. So you have the 10 of Wands and you have it with the 10 of Cups here, showing up for this opportunity. So yes, I mean, this is definitely like completing something, all right, that kind of stuff, maybe working through a lot of responsibilities or having to like take on like a heavy burden of some sort. Maybe that's, you know, just what it is right now with you being in this Emperor role, all right, certainly could be. Maybe you're watching for your opposite sign, okay? Libra reading with the Emperor showing up for you guys. So that could also be something. I like that you have 2 10s showing up right next to each other. Are you kidding me? You have the King of Cups for your what to avoid. I like this is not real life right now. This is not real. This is we might have to do an entire reading just on this King of Swords. Nope, King of Swords, is somebody in disguise? I swear to God. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what is going on here? I was about to say Misty Mountaintop. I'm like, what am I talking about? So I have no idea. I don't know. But this King of Cups showing up in everyone's what to avoid energy is bugging me out, dude, okay? So anyway, we're going to get to that in just a minute here. But all right, 10 of Wands and the 10 of Cups. Again, it's like working through something difficult. You're going to come out on it on like the other side. You're going to come out of something, having worked through something, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, you know, that kind of stuff. It's like, keep putting in the work. Like, don't give up now. Absolutely not, okay? Definitely not. I don't see anything being like, give up what you're doing or stop what you're doing. No, definitely not, okay? Because it's like working through something, that kind of stuff is bringing you to an energy of being like, oh, we made it finally, like emotional comfort, like feel, not for nothing, 10 of Cups, this is that sense of like a blissful community, or it can be, you know, that kind of stuff. You have that showing up as a challenge. So to me, it's like, again, working through that challenge. This is actually a really like hopeful reading. I was about to call you Pisces. What is going on? Libra. Okay. All right. So maybe we're avoiding Pisces, dude. All right. I'm sorry. That's so mean. I like Pisces. I also have Pisces in my chart, side note. But all right, so King of Cups showing up as what to avoid here. Okay, I think maybe this is avoiding like a touchy subject, okay? Something regarding that. Maybe there's an avoidance of that, or again, it's an avoidance of what I've been saying friggin' all week. Like, you can't make everyone happy. Not everyone's going to be thrilled with something, that kind of stuff, okay? Like, perfect example actually here, Libra. So like on my Instagram, I put songs like attached to my Instagram. Funny enough, I didn't write any of the songs. I'd be really rich if I did, but I didn't write any of those songs. So like, I understand that some people are going to have a problem with certain words in songs. It's art. So that's how I see it. Okay. And it's like, you don't have to listen to it. I don't know, that kind of stuff. But you know what I'm trying to say? I feel like that sounded kind of mean, but I didn't mean it that way. I just mean like, we can't be constantly like, censoring ourselves through every single thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Jesus, it's just like at a certain point, like, it's like, you know, can we just, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's too much. It's too much. So that's kind of what I'm saying. Maybe this is just like, you know what? Some people maybe are going to hate what you're doing. Maybe some people are going to love what you're doing. Okay. All right. You know, I don't know. That's what it is. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. All right. And again, I do feel like there's a particular subject matter that it's like, hey, don't kind of like avoid that, you know, that kind of stuff. If that's not something that you're able to do, then again, I feel like this is really like an indication of, you can't make everyone happy. It's just something that is, like, you know, I want to say impossible in some aspect. So, all right. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope this reading was helpful and made sense, all that kind of stuff. If not, you could check your other placements, and I'll see you guys back for your next one. Thank you. Bye.